in high definition. 19 Action News starts now.
We're on top of breaking news in Brecksville. A police standoff just ending at this hour. This is video taken just moments ago from the 19 Action News chopper. We're told there was a police standoff on Snowville Road. That situation has been resolved. The guy cops were after came out with his hands up. A cry for help from the woman cops say tried to kill her own kids. 19 Action News has obtained the 911 call made by Jacqueline Stout. She's charged with 2 counts of attempted murder and 2 counts of child endangering. Police say she crushed up some pills and put it in her kids' Kool-Aid.
I did give them some medicine, so they probably will need to be evaluated at the hospital. You did give them some? Yeah, because I didn't want to die alone.
The kids are expected to be okay. Mom is locked up on a $1 million bond. Governor John Kasich denied Frank Spizak's request for mercy today. Spizak now set to die next Thursday for murdering 3 people, including a minister at Cleveland State in 1982. We first told you the Ohio Parole Board denied Spizak's request last month. The governor was Spizak's last chance. Also breaking, charges filed against Takara Kelly. She was charged late today with vehicular homicide and a slew of other charges. Cops say she was drunk, ran a red light, and crashed into a car. Luis Vasquez and Juanita Gonzalez were killed. Their 3 grandchildren sent to the hospital, but they survived. The voice of the Cavs speaking out for the first time since heart surgery. Joe Tate says he expects to be back to work in early March. On the radio this morning, he talked about his health troubles, saying he considers himself lucky to be alive. He's also amazed at the support he's received.
It's heartwarming. It's certainly humbling, I thank everybody who took the time to express their feelings.
Joe says he hasn't missed a Cavs game all year. A woman dragged, then robbed and dragged across a Walmart parking lot. But a good Samaritan was in the right place at the right time, and he did all the right things last night to put the punk behind bars. Today, we caught up with him, a guy we've started calling the boss. John Schumann, a real American and a real hero for one woman Wednesday night after he stopped at the Alliance Walmart to satisfy his wife's crunchy craving.
She requested Fruit Loops for a snack at night, so we ended up here.
But while our hero's wife was in the store, our protagonist saw a young man acting fishy in the parking lot, so he kept an eye on him. Then, 18-year-old Cody Bragg struck.
An unsuspecting woman in the Walmart parking lot just trying to load groceries in her car, but when she turned her back, bam! Cody Bragg snagged her purse right out of her cart, but she wasn't about to let him get away.
She held onto the purse and he drug her across the parking lot.
About 60 feet across that icy pavement. Thankfully, she wasn't hurt, but the chase was on. The boss took off chasing Bragg for 21 miles down the interstate on the phone with police the whole time.
Yeah, a guy just stole a purse out of the parking lot of Walmart and Alliance.
The boss's truck? Not the most discreet tailing vehicle. Bragg noticed it and got kind of nervous, so he called the police too.
There's this guy in a snowplow.
Right.
That's following me.
Okay.
And he's scaring me.
Eventually, Bragg pulled over to confront the boss, but 911 warned Schumann not to get too close.
Yeah, don't, because if he has a gun or something...
No, you know what? I have 2, so I ain't worried about it.
The boss led police right to Bragg, who was booked and charged with this new kind of drive-by. The cops recovered the purse on the side of the road, and Lieutenant Jenkins gave us all some advice if we are ever in John Schumann's place.
Call the police department right away. Try to keep a safe distance. Don't approach the person, but just try to be a good witness.
Just a good old boy, just doing what I felt was right.
A frightening fall for a gymnast in Florida. Warning, this video might be upsetting. 20-year-old George Valdez was practicing last week for a show in Vegas. During his routine, he landed on his head. He suffered serious injuries that almost left him paralyzed.
I was very scared. I was pretty sure I wasn't going to be able to walk at least for a while.
But then a miracle happened. Surgeons raced him into the OR and were able to minimize the damage. A week later, he's well on the road to recovery. Judge Mark Hassett is at the center of a mystery. when he was spotted tossing a bag full of stuff into a dumpster behind the courthouse last November. The bag was retrieved. The contents triggered a police investigation.
Rehab veteran Chardon Municipal Judge Mark Hassett is under an inquisitive eye because of one sick bag of trash. Today, the cat's out of the bag. We got our hands on the police report, and boy was it raunchy. Last November, our kinky boy was spotted behind the Chardon courthouse after hours on a day he had called in sick. Thinly veiled in a hat and sunglasses, this raunchy judge was ditching a bag chock full of goodies in the city's dumpster. Using pole he found nearby, City Prosecutor Jim Gillette fished it out and started the beginning of Judge Hassett's end. We expected the empty liquor bottles, but the little boy's underwear and teenage boy tank tops? Yikes! Then there's the pornographic magazines Barely Legal and 18 that spotlight girls who look like teens. And the movie The Quiet. Some critics deemed it sleazy, hard to watch. Not stunned to find out this Alicia Cuthbert movie is about a teenage girl's sexual relationship with her sister and father. Stuffed right next to that DVD was yet another, the movie The Girl Next Door, with the same young starlet, this time playing a former porn star. What raises even more questions than these items are the tampons and Kotex Ultra Thin Pads found in the judge's goodie bag. But all this stuff, as creepy as it may be, is legal.
We came up with a conclusion that we didn't have anything criminal. The only victim that we came to conclusion is maybe the judge himself.
So, after all these discoveries, the Honorable Judge is not under further investigation. But he has chosen not to run for re-election. Maybe because he fears he's the one getting judged now. Let's hope he didn't victimize any little boys or girls and just dreamed about it while sitting on the bench.
More than 600 million people use Facebook to stay connected, but one person's posting landed her in the unemployment line. Dawn Marie Souza vented about her boss on Facebook. A veteran paramedic, she complained about being unfairly suspended, referring to her supervisor as a psychiatric patient and other derogatory terms. A month later, she received a termination letter pointing to her internet posting as a violation of company blogging and internet posting policies.
This really has expanded the free speech rights of American workers. If they're communicating about the workplace and they're talking about their supervisors, then it's a protected activity.
Here's how it ended. The National Labor Relations Board investigated and ruled that the company fired Souza illegally. A home remodeling project turns downright dirty in Virginia. When a family went to install the toilet bowl, they ran into a little bit of trouble. So they picked up the phone and called the customer service number on the manual. To their surprise, the voice on the other end had quite the potty mouth. Turns out it was a sex line.
I was appalled. I couldn't believe it. I had called it like 5 or 6 times to make sure I didn't dial it wrong.
Lowe's removed the toilets from their stock and is trying to figure out how a sex line ended up on the manual. Stuck on what to get your sweetheart for Valentine's Day? Well, we've got some Valentine's etiquette for you. Dating and relationship coach Tony Coleman says if your relationship is brand new, think small, like a card, a single rose, or a bottle of wine. If you're 3 to 6 months in and starting to get exclusive, a nice dinner, flowers, and/or a shared experience like a day trip might be nice.
Just a little acknowledgement that I'm thinking of you today. If the person does too much and makes too big a deal of it, it could perhaps send the wrong message.
And don't break the bank. For married and long-term couples, it's actually more important to step out of the day-to-day, to do something special, preferably without those kids. The list of gift suggestions is on our website, 19actionnews.com. We'll be right back.